I'm an earthworm woman. In the mornings, I fill my tanks by breathing the energy of the sea and tasting the power of the sun penetrating my skin. There's an air of no care, which comes with age, and I hold my head up proudly, liking who I've become. I'm not afraid of smells, or dirt, or to walk barefoot across the stones. Sometimes I wade through the shallow water just to embrace its fluid element, my hair often crazy and loose, being pulled by and flying in the wind. I can be glamorous if I want to, although makeup was never my thing. And I've learnt that life is for living, not fearing, and so I absorb it like a sponge. Good morning, and rising, and welcome to the first day of swimmer, whatever it is to be summer, but it's more like winter. So maybe we'll get summer in winter. I'm just waiting here for my guest who's in hot country, honest. So I'm a little bit jealous. But so Mercy, I don't know why not here. She said she wanted to come in a bit earlier, so I'll just carry on and say to anyone who's watching. Likely, I don't really know what's happening after the 10th, as we don't know, but I may just have one more of these on here. And what I'm going to set up a Rumble, Earthworm Woman Rumble, and probably a Telegram page. I'm not really sure how it works, but to be honest, so one more on the 7th of December. But I feel more and more that I really enjoy doing the podcast because I can see sort of different people and we can connect in that way. Hurry up, Mercy. But I got a feeling I'm going to be doing more things in community. Well, as some of you may know, I'm doing the play Marooned coming up, but I want to combine what I'm doing here, because I have to say it's exciting, but it's also a little and what would you call it? I'm meeting so many people, and I just feel stories and people with trauma and people with people who need to connect, especially women. I have to say, I'm meeting a lot of women. I hope you can all hear them. Someone just say if they can hear me, because I can see people are there, but there's no. Fair enough. There's no comments. And and also meeting all these people who do different have these health businesses that they're doing and different practices, and coming together physically is very likely the way forward. We've almost been pushed back into that, so all we have to do is sort of keep in touch. And I've set up a proton mail for Earthwoman, so it's Earthworm Woman at Proton Me. I'll put that in where I'll pop that around everywhere. And she's not here. One sec. Are you coming on? I don't know. These people that live in the country and go, yes, there's one. It's people leave the country and just, in a kind of a hot place, and yeah, I'm coming. Yeah, but 10 o'clock is what I'm talking about, not 10:06. Hi, Victoria. Yeah, so that's that. She's texting me now. I can't talk for Mary. I want to talk with her is about, look at the link. It's up here. Oh, gosh. What I want to talk with her about is how, one sec. How she found it. She's left Australia, I'm not too sure how long ago. Great. Australia, and I can't remember the name of it, where they're around and they're working or they're writing. She's she's talking about having a virtual assistant and everything, so she must be doing something very interesting. We'll soon find out. And I think it's a really exciting way to live outside of the city. There she comes. There she is. Okay, about bloody time.
I'm so sorry. Oh my God, it's 6 a.m, and I am an early riser. But
I forgot to tell them about 6 a.m, but she managed to run outside and get that flower, stick it in her hair.
It's not real. I'm so sorry.
So we were just talking about how it's still winter, like the first day of swinter, swunter. I'm calling it because it's winter. Supposed to be the first day of summer, obviously.
Oh God,
And
you're all rugged up.
11 degrees on the beach today.
Climate
so cold.
change.
Even one of my dogs was like, nah, coming. Just the big one, who's my dutiful boy. Iggy comes with me, but my little just like, nah. Not doing wind.
Oh well, oh God, and you still have to go because it's freezing. Well, I can't say the same about where I am.
So just talking about roughly, you've been out of Australia for a while now, and I was just, how amazing that would be. Just great. So, Flores, tell me about, where did you leave? How long ago?
Very beginning of March. So I had to move out of my beloved apartment in Sydney. I was living in a beautiful old place that I'd been in for 11 years, and they were renovating, and the rent was ridiculously low. And I just knew I wasn't going to find anything remotely like that. So it was going to be like move into a shoebox or move away from the, beach. I was on the harbour, but I've been in, Bondi and eastern suburbs for 30 years. I've pretty much been on the beach for my whole adult life, actually.
Yeah, beach now, except it's not the same. It's quite shitty down there, but some days it's nice.
Yeah, you've got to be by the coastline. And and I just, people would always say, what are you going to do when you have to move out of here? And I always said something will present itself, and I knew it would. So I got the email, and it was like, for about 2 hours. And then I had a bit of a nap, and then I woke up and I was like, okay, this is exciting. I'm going to try. And so I decided, I had a little bit of savings, and I sold a little bit of my silver, and I decided I was going to go to Thailand. And then I was watching YouTube videos, and I've always wanted to be a digital nomad. And at the time, I don't know what I was doing.
I was trying to
school. Yeah, when we talked last time, I can't remember if I think I was I writing a book? Because I wrote a book.
Probably, yeah.
Yeah, so I kind of got into this Amazon publishing thing because I got really drained by trying to sort of promote my coaching business online and doing Instagram. And it was just exhausting and getting me nowhere. And then this other thing came along, so I did that for a bit. And so at the time when I had to move, that's what I was doing. I was kind of writing books. And so I thought, I just want to go somewhere where I don't have to be distracted by, trying to earn a living and, 30 years of stuff. So I actually got rid of about 90% of my possessions. It was huge. Like, I basically just downsized to about 10% of my stuff. It was exhausting and huge. No one wants your stuff, even nice stuff. So I literally was just, getting on a plane, like I was running the whole time, and came to Vietnam.
You must have something stored.
Yeah, I've got one of those taxi boxes. Do you have taxi boxes?
Yeah.
It's basically the length. They're actually not as big as you think they are. Yeah, I kept my bed and my washing machine and my fridge just in case. But then when I went back in the middle of the year, I got rid of the washing machine and the fridge. And then I looked at everything else and I was like, what is all this shit? I don't need it. I don't want to have stuff anymore. I don't want to have a home anymore. I just kind of put it out there that I was going to do house sitting. And and immediately, like a few friends, before I'd even left Australia, I had house sitting lined up. So I basically went from March to mid-June, 3.5 months. And then I went back to Australia for...
So in Vietnam?
Yeah, and then I went back for 3 months, looked after my friends' houses and pets for a few months as well, and even got paid quite well for one of those jobs. And actually, I came back to Vietnam because before I left, I was doing a bit of NDIS support work as well. And one of my clients got wind of the fact that I had come to Vietnam and she had money to spend on a holiday. So she said, you want to come back with me? So I came back and I got paid to come back for 3.5 weeks.
Wow.
Yeah, so that has actually kind of allowed me to come back again.
Yeah, look, I think
crazy, but
I'm a few steps away. Well, got a few things holding me here, but I think that's sort of I just like freedom feeling of, because I got lots of things I want to do, and I can still do them here. So, but I think that's a beautiful way to be, just facing all these things. I've got my parents' stuff and cupboard full of all kinds of stuff. You just, what do you do with that as well?
I know. My parents are still alive, so I haven't had that. That hasn't happened. And my mother is an artist, and she's like, God, oh my God. I mean, I already had taken a lot of her stuff when they downsized. I kind of was like, yeah, I'll have that. So I ended up so then it ended up back in their garage. It's a huge thing. Like, it's been a massive transition this year.
And so
coming here, like, I was really shell shocked when I got here. A friend of mine said, you're going to have PTSD, because it was the other thing. One of the clients that I had with the NDIS was a hoarder, and so I didn't realize, like, she wanted to declutter, and she lived basically inside a rubbish dump that was rammed, like you couldn't even see.
The place was here in Vietnam, right?
No, in Sydney. I was helping her. She was one of the jobs that I was doing. So not only was I downsizing my own stuff, I was going once a week, and it was So I was just the whole thing. The whole year has been about sort of offloading stuff, and then when I went back to Australia, I still had like a car full of stuff that I hadn't been able to fit anywhere, and it was like, what am I going to do with this? So I've sort of it's been this ongoing thing. And also, I just got off social media. That was the other thing that happened kind of accidentally. I got to Vietnam and I just didn't want to be on social media. I didn't want to be talking about the world anymore. I felt like I've done my bit, and nobody's
if you can do that. Yeah, hearing what they're doing in Australia and England. Well, you haven't been on social media, so maybe.
Oh yeah, I mean, I did do a post when I came back to Australia about it got 1,000 shares. I think it's still pinned to my profile.
Oh yes.
About it was up to 900 shares last time I looked. About the digital ID. So yeah, I will speak when there's something to speak about. But I feel like, people are either awake or they don't give a shit. So I'm not interested in, and then also there's division within as well, which really pisses me off.
Yeah. But I'll just talk about that DID thing for a second, because I had a bit of a heated discussion about that yesterday with the daughter. And again, the young people are going to be the ones who are hit the most, because they've been led to just go, oh, easier to do that. They're, somebody will speed up, which is probably be 2 minutes. Speed it up. Sounds like a chipmunk almost. I'm like, how can you hear that? Everything's so fast, but convenience. And they're just like, what are you on about? It's just another conspiracy situation. So, of course they'll probably just, I use my face for some because they're going to be hit if they have to. It does come in.
I don't think, I mean, I'm still hopeful. Like, I just don't think
it will work.
I think enough people, I mean, I've seen people, friends of mine who got jabbed, who were saying they don't want the digital ID.
Yeah.
Like, I think there's another whole, and like I said in that post that I did on my Facebook page when I was driving and talking to people, like the biggest surprise, I should have put that in the post actually. It was such a surprise actually to me to see how many people didn't want to get it, because we weren't even talking to each other at that stage. So we didn't even know. But it was so high. It was like 90% of people didn't want to have that jab.
Yeah.
And now they're all, they can all see that it was a big load of bullshit. So I think that there'll be a lot more resistance to a digital ID.
Certainly hope so. That's right. I mean, I already talked to many other people about it, but you're probably right. Exactly. I had to get up at the weekend to go up to Cororook from Colac, and the taxi driver started talking. I can't remember what I was talking about first of all. I think I've just said it. And he was saying, he came straight to the thing and said, I didn't get it, but I got it for my job. He seemed to know everything about this and this and this, and he was completely against the digital ID. Yeah. Yes, I think if they had thought then, no, all of that would have stopped, in the beginning with the jabs, as we know. People go, huh? No, I'm not taking that. That's what we have to do this time round for sure. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I'm sort of just trying to disappear altogether. So, because I had a PO box, and so then that was sort of expiring around the time that I was leaving. And then when I got here, I swapped my SIM card for a Vietnamese SIM, and then a cleaner cleaned away my Vodafone SIM card. It was in a little bag in my hotel room. So I didn't have a phone, and I couldn't get verification codes. I mean, it was a little bit of a nightmare in some regards. But when I came back to Australia, I had this big row with Vodafone, who wouldn't even let me log into my account until I took my plan off hold. I'd already spent like 5 hours arguing with them from Vietnam. Anyway, long story short, I ended up changing my phone number as well. So my phone never rings. I have no address.
You've lost all your contacts.
No, I've got all my contacts, and still people can like my family. I'm on WhatsApp with everyone
when they come in.
It's so good. Like, I mean, my phone was always on silent anyway, but now no one even tries to ring me. And people who are, chasing me for different things can't find me. So I'm sort of like,
Christine,
it's really great.
She's talking about it being, I don't believe it's true. Anyway, so just going back to you.
I didn't see whatever that comment was. How many people are on, by the way? I can't see that.
At the moment, on this particular one, 61, but then there's about 5 or 6 streams. They could all have, a lot of people go to Rumble. Yeah, exactly, Jan. Just going back to you, was it Vietnam you were here for, or is it, because I thought you were going to travel a lot, or was it just came about, you said? Vietnam?
So initially I knew I was going to go to Da Nang. So I watched loads of people on YouTube, and I saw an interview with somebody who'd spent years in Thailand, and now he'd come to Vietnam, and he was living in Da Nang, which is a city in the middle of Vietnam on the sea, but right sort of bang smack. It's 2,000 miles long, Vietnam. So it's in the middle. And it's full of, digital nomads, and it's a city on the sea, and I like the sound of that. So I went there, and then not far from there, about 20 kilometers away, there's a little town called Hoi An, which is a sort of ancient town. For some reason, younger people aren't gravitating as much as Da Nang, but I went there and I stayed there. So that's because it's absolutely beautiful. It's a little, it's an ancient town, also on the sea, but it has a river running through it, and it has just rice paddies galore. It's just gorgeous, and it's flat, so everyone rides bikes everywhere. And you're like living, it's sort of rural, and it's got a city vibe as well, and it's got an ancient town, and it's just got a bit of everything. So, and I had a feeling when I went there that I was going to want to stay there. So I think from day 5, I went there and I found a beautiful apartment in a like not old, little sort of, I think there's 5 apartments in this block owned by a chef from Hanoi, really cool guy who I really vibed with. I used to be a chef, by the way. And so I moved in there and I had this incredible view of rice paddies. It was just one room with a little kitchen in the corner and a washing machine. And it was a huge balcony. And I was just looking over rice paddies and then fish farms beyond that and coconut palms. And it was just heaven. I was honestly so blissed out, like so much of the time.
Wow. And do they speak English, or you have to speak Vietnamese?
They what?
The English. How do you communicate?
With Google, I'm afraid. Google Translate. Yeah, no, they don't. A few people speak English, but not great English. So there's this fantastic app, which is Google, unfortunately. There are other apps. You can do, ChatGPT has a translator thing. But, like this is my last message last night to a waiter. Chili, please. And then you can press this.
Yeah. But it's not getting the digital thing in there.
It even takes photos of the labels, so you can put it on camera mode and you can go through the supermarkets and take photos of, or like just scan
and
it.
Translate as you go. Yeah,
it's pretty incredible. And the Vietnamese they'll get theirs out and put it on Vietnamese, so you can have a conversation like that, which is pretty great.
Yeah. So, I'm just saying, so you're having the digital ID thing down your throat there?
They're fully digital ID'd here in Vietnam. They've already brought it in, and because it's communist country, and they're very obedient people. Like, they're very good, well-behaved people. I've only seen about 4 policemen the whole time I've been here. They're just such, they've already got it, but we don't have to have it here.
Just to explain further then, how does that look? So is it just you have to use the one app for
I don't know. Like, it doesn't apply to me.
Oh,
I think they've all just had to get a digital ID, and I read about it. So that's, but it doesn't impact me at all. And I think it probably doesn't really impact them either, to be honest.
Do they all? Is it voluntary?
I think so. I think it came in, I can't remember when it came in the last 12 months sometime. There was one thing, because there's a website called Shopee, which is like Amazon, which I use because it's hard to find everything that you want here. And that Shopee wanted some kind of ID that I didn't have. And when I sort of came back, so it's come in since my first trip, because like when I tried to log into Shopee, it was like, please give your blah, blah number. And I was like, I don't have one of those. And I don't know how I got around it. Like, I think I just came back later and I managed to get in somehow. But yeah, I think.
So I'm stupidly with the Commonwealth Bank for things, and I'm going to close it. But I tried to keep trying to get in on normal way with my email and everything, and it just keeps telling I have to go and check with the app. So they want me to. Yes, I'm going to go to bank and say,
get yourself a regional bank account.
Yeah, I don't do apps. Anyway, so you're in and tell me about what you're starting with your other.
Oh yeah, so when I came back, when I came here the first time around, I just had this realization that I have to do my coaching. And I think, I realized that I had to figure that out somehow. So I'm sort of back to figuring that out. And I've signed up with a company and I've got a virtual assistant. So I've bitten the bullet. So I started a YouTube channel. It all sort of came, I don't know. I feel like everything is God guided in my life, really. It was like there was just one thing after another that made me just think, oh, I've got to do this. And then something would present itself and something else and something else. So I started a YouTube.
Relate to that. That's sort of how I feel is happening, and I've just got to be a bit patient, and it's coming slow to fruition more.
Yeah. Well, God speaks to me through YouTube videos. In fact, I'm going to make a video with that title. So yeah, it was just one thing after another. So I was thinking about, I want to get back to coaching, and I started looking at AI because I love AI. I love using AI to kind of help me figure things out,
Okay.
Not just talking to my voice recorder, and do like a sort of, I call it audio journaling, and then I'll just copy and paste that into AI. And then it's like all my messy thoughts just sort of come out in this streamlined way. So I was kind of thinking about it. And then this YouTube video came up that how to speak on YouTube, which I watched. It was quite random, but I really liked the lady who did it. So I thought, I wonder what she teaches. And so I went into the description and she had a challenge coming up to start your YouTube channel. So I was like, right, I'm going to do that. So her 5-day challenge, and then I ended up signing up for her full immersion 6-week course, which is what I was doing. I think that started as I was leaving Vietnam and to go back to Australia. So, and that was all about setting up your business and using YouTube instead of Instagram, which is useless for coaches and doesn't, to use YouTube as a way to, attract people and get your online business going. So that's where I am with that. And then for my second video, I paid someone to do the editing, and now I've paid for I've got a full-time virtual assistant through a company that trains them, but they also coach us. So I get like coached as well. So in 6 weeks, it's unbelievable. She actually started work at the same time I was coming on this call. She's incredible. She's 24 and she's never been a virtual assistant. So she did 3 weeks training before I started working with her. And she's setting everything up. She's done so much stuff. So, when you sign up for a free thing and that has to go to a landing page, and then that has to there's so much involved. People don't realize how many moving parts there are in just the tiniest aspect of it. Before you're even building courses and teaching the thing, there's just so many moving parts.
So you can also on through YouTube. Yeah, right.
Yeah, so I've got a mosquito flying around in here. So that's been amazing. So I've got more done in the last 6 weeks than I have, because I've been trying to do this online business thing for 10 years now. So I was a meditation teacher before, and I've kind of had stabs at it, and it's like, it's just too much. I never get everything set up. I never get all the emails that have to go out to people automated, and I never... you're doing social media on 4 different platforms. You have to be a designer, you have to be a photographer, you have to be a videographer, you have to be that's the business side, not even what you're trying to teach. So
what's the name
about
YouTube?
That?
So people can.
Sorry?
What's the name of the YouTube? People can.
It's just my name, Mercy Wolf, and I still only have 2 videos, but I've spent the last 3 days trying to edit my own video, which is called Why I Drink the Tap Water in Vietnam, because I've got a filter. But I've actually just decided to give it back to my the guy that edited my last one. So he's going to, because I got totally stitched up by this editing program that wouldn't let me do what I wanted to do.
Yeah, editing is something I struggle with, because these are all the little things. If you can do those kind of jobs, or if you're getting someone else to do it, I'd like to be able to do it myself, because I won't edit. I'm making a feature film. Of next year, I'm going to make Moon, which is currently as a play, into a feature film, and that way I can take it further. And just, it's my thing.
It's amazing.
There in front of me, it's got to happen. And then I've got several other things after that I want to do. But the time, I don't know how sometimes time just goes, and you think, oh, I always have to say to myself, what have I achieved today? Come on, what have you achieved? But now
you always have achieved more than you realize.
Yeah,
that's the thing. But the problem is that we want to do more than we can. Like, I always have 3 or 4 things on my list every day, and I'm lucky if I get through one of them. You
haven't got many distractions, I suppose, you've had in Sydney.
Yeah, well, I don't have to earn money, and I don't have a house full of crap and that I'm trying to clean. So that really helps. Like, I'm not even cooking my own food now.
I was now. Then you're in a house.
Sorry,
your house sitting over there now.
No, I'm in a hotel. Do you want to see where I am? I'm in a $24 a night room. Look, this is my
$24.
Look at that. Wow. And that's the sea just right there. I don't know if you can see that, but that's the sea. Yep. So, and it's, So
swimmable.
Yeah.
It's swimmable, the sea.
And there's an amazing restaurant right next door. There's an amazing massage place across the road. The massages are $10.
And which area are you in now?
Okay. So it's a little town called Muine. So actually this time I came back for 2 months, and I'm going back for Christmas, and then I'll probably just come back again next year.
I was going to say, so how do you go for an Australian or English as well? But how do you have to leaving? Visa wise?
Sorry. They just give you a visa. You get 3-month visas, unless your trip is less. So, like, if you put the dates of your trip, then they'll give you the dates. And sometimes not quite, which I found out the first time the hard way, and ended up accidentally overstaying my visa. They're quite tricky because they get a lot of people. They trip a lot of people up here, and then you have to pay backsheesh to get out of. So that's happened to me. But yeah, so I came here this time, and my plan this time was I'm not going to get stuck in one place. I'm going to spend a week in one place and then move every week. And this was my first stop, and I haven't moved because it's just this quiet kind of fishing village town. At this end, it's sort of a bit touristy. And then if you keep going up to the peninsula, it's a fishing village. And it's so chilled out. It's just got one long road. It's flat as well. So I've got myself a mountain bike again. So I just cycle everywhere. And yeah, I just decided I don't need to keep moving, because that's just going to take a day every time I move, a day away from, doing my work.
Well, are there many Australians there, or, English speaking people?
Not really. I think I've met one Australian guy when I was waiting for some food. There's a lot of Russians. Lots. Most of the tourists are Russians, and Chinese.
Gosh.
The Chinese are all on tour buses. So this place here, there's probably only about, 8 other guests at the moment. But then like every sort of 4 or 5 days in the late afternoon, the garden just suddenly fills up there's like a whole bus just empties, and there's this mad panic while everyone's trying to find their rooms. And then they all, go out for dinner somewhere, and then in the morning they all get dressed up. There's a massive photo shoot that happens.
Oh, really?
All the husbands having to take photos of their wives, and then they have breakfast and then they leave again. So, and
Well,
there's a few, there's a smattering of other people. Oh, it's also the kite surfing capital of Vietnam. So,
kayak surfing.
no, kite surfing.
Oh,
Like wind.
kayak
It's like
surfing.
windsurfing. Yeah, so they're
Yeah.
all, there's a lot of kite surfer bros as well. So there's probably quite a few Aussies there, but they're all sort of down that end of the beach. So yeah.
Okay.
It's mostly
Yeah, I remember went to Spain once when doing windsurfing and sunstroke years ago. But yeah, it must have been that sort of thing that did that. So there's a people, like you. I have Fiona Goldsmith on sometimes in Bali or Ubud, I think is in Bali. And it just feels like a different pace and everything. Really, just
it is
low key. I mean, I try.
Yeah, nothing to worry about. No stress. No pressure. It's I mean, it took a little while to sort of get used to, but it's lovely.
Sydney would be such a difference. I mean, you get the heat up there at least, but I know there's a lot of chemtrails and things because my sister's there. I'm going at Sydney Christmas, but Sydney, Melbourne. It's you actually get angry because, and it's like they're trying to make us angry because why should we still be having winter temperatures and everything?
You think they're doing it deliberately, making it cold?
Oh yeah, there's a lot. Everybody knows there's huge amounts of seeding. You want to call it geoengineering happening, and you hear the planes, you see the sky, then you see the lines, and then it's just this cloud cover. You can see the sun being blocked behind it.
Yeah, I've been watching that for years. And where I was in Rose Bay was, like I'd wake up in the morning and it would be like a really long line. I could see all the way to the horizon.
Yeah. So I wonder why they were doing it back then, or however long that was, because now I feel it just feels like it's part of the whole everything that's going on. Just to make people healthy and take the vitamin D. How many years ago would that have been? We noticed it.
Years. I've got photos in my phone going back 7-8 years.
Yeah.
That's when I started figuring it out. But it had probably already been going on by then.
Probably the same sort of stuff, but
But I don't think it makes it cold. I don't know if that's what makes it cold.
Yeah. Well, I mean, our day is probably 40, I think.
Maybe it's time to make your exit from Melbourne.
I can't leave my kids at the moment. I don't want to.
How old are your kids?
Yeah.
How old are your kids?
Oh, well, Mimi's 21, but she's with me, so.
Yeah.
I just
My son
know.
has turned 29
a
few days ago. Yeah. He'd already moved from Sydney. He's up near Byron Bay. So I don't need to worry about him. I mean, I would like to live here. Like that's why I'm so hell-bent on getting my coaching happening.
Yeah.
Because I don't really want to live in Australia anymore. That was the other thing. When I was living where I was living, it was beautiful. Like I was living in where, I had the Sydney Harbour across the road. I could see it out of my window. And I had close friends within, 2 kilometers, several that I hardly ever saw. We'd sort of message each other, and then, like one of my closest friends, I probably only saw her once every 6 months, which is crazy. She's living 2 kilometers away.
Wow. Yeah, no,
why am I living in a city?
Yeah.
I mean, I do like having people around, and I've realized that, that I like, after I've done a day's sort of work, I'll get out and I go and cycle around. But when I was back in Sydney in the middle of winter, after being here, it just felt so boring. It was winter, it was cold. I was looking after my friend's dog
Yeah.
and taking the dog for walks. And it was like, where is everyone? Like, there's
Oh,
just nobody around.
boring. Yeah.
Everyone's inside their houses, inside their cars. You can't see inside the cars because they're all tinted. And it's like, where the hell is everyone? Whereas in Vietnam, everyone's out on the street and they're all on their motorbikes and there's just life, you know.
You get your
So
business moving, you know, success. Would you be able to apply to have a longer?
they're bringing in what's called I don't know what they're calling it here. They've already got it in Thailand. It's called a digital nomad visa. So they have a 10-year visa for digital nomads, and they've got different visas for business people. So you can, as long as you're not earning Vietnamese money, like you're not taking business away from Vietnamese people, if the money's coming from outside. So they are bringing something in like that. So it's possible. You still would have to leave and come back, but it just gives you like a multiple entry stamp. So you don't keep paying for the visa and applying for the visa, which is a rigmarole and very clunky.
And when you leave, do you have to come here? Or can you go? Is there another country?
Yeah, people go to Thailand and Cambodia right next door. So I had to do one visa run. I flew to Bangkok for a couple of nights, which was fun.
So I did speak to a woman ages ago, Lise something. She was living in Thailand, doing online work. Same sort of, not sort of stuff. She was doing, I don't know what she was actually doing, but health-related stuff. But she was, she'd been living there for a long time. Yeah. And it's
a great country. The people, like, I'd never been here before, and I just had a feeling I was really going to like it. And I've been everywhere in Southeast Asia. I haven't been to Cambodia or Laos, but pretty much everywhere else. But there's something very special about this place. I think they're not jaded by tourists. Like, so they haven't, Thailand's had tourists for decades. So that, tourism is not as established here.
In Vietnam.
But also they're not impressed by Westerners. So they're not trying, like, they're just sort of not interested a lot of the time, which is great, but they're really friendly. They're really helpful. The people, they don't try and rip you off. If you go to the markets and you buy food from the market, there's the occasional person that's going to up the price, but mostly they're honest. And if you give them, like, the money's very confusing because they're in, like, millions. You spend like $1 million dong is $60. So you can they've made the 50,000 and the 500,000 are the same color. So when you can easily kind of hand over a 500 instead of a 50, and they always point it out if you do it.
They do.
Like they're really honest. There's no crime. It's the safest place I've ever been.
That's what we need. We need countries to be
all the time.
Stay themselves. Because when I went to Europe last year, I found, the buildings were different, similar but different, but pretty much people and the patterns and the way everything's going is very just like it's the same, especially in England. And it's nice for countries to keep who they are, the sense of their own self. So you go to somewhere for to have an experience. Somewhere. So do you want to talk about your online coaching, what it will be?
Sure. Yeah. So what would you like to know? Well, so where I was at, I'm sort of, I'm working on a 3-month program called the Metabolic Maverick. So that's what I'm going to be teaching people. And it's pretty much what I was doing before. We talked a lot about the, ketogenic diet.
That's right.
Like that, so I'm kind of, I feel like I'm more now, the only thing that's changed, I've realized, and this is something that has happened to me, is I've realized I'm eating a little bit differently now. So I've actually started eating more fruit and eating a bit of sugar and eating some carbs. And I was kind of waiting for my body to, start putting on weight again, and it didn't. And I realized I've kind of completely reset over a few years my metabolism, and that's another thing that's been really huge this year, is realizing that I just don't have, there was always a little bit of restriction. I was always sort of on guard about putting on weight. I think after menopause, it's sort of like
it's sort of a built-in thing with women. Well, yes.
Yeah. Anyway, that's gone now, which is just incredible. And I sort of realized I'm making a video about that as well.
Yeah.
Because I realized that once if you've done a kind of hard reset, then you can go back to eating a bit normally again. So that's what I'm teaching. That's what I want to sort of teach other people now, is that, it's not like you have to completely change your diet forever.
Strict.
Yeah. And I really want to help people. I've realized that I think the biggest problem that women have is the food noise and the mental side of it. I think that's much harder than the physical side of it. So so I'm doing all of that, and I'm actually going to offer people I'm going to roll out some 1-to-1 challenges is what I want to do. Because there's a lot of people doing 5-day challenges and group challenges, and all of those things just take a huge amount of, organizing and setting up and tech stuff. And I heard about this thing called a tiny challenge. So I'm going to do that. So if anyone is interested, it's like a 1-to-1 sort of a 10-day, 7 to 10 days. I haven't exactly nailed down what I'm going to do, but it's like a private sort of mini
So somebody
challenge.
who won't change the way they...
Yeah, but it's like, this is what you can do, like lose 5 pounds in 5 days, reset your metabolism kind of thing. So I'm going to be offering that.
Come back to pound.
Oh, that's just, markets.
Not pumping the ice cream and potato chips down your neck, though.
No, I'm not, but I do sometimes have an ice cream, which it was like I was so out of the habit of eating like that. And I think what happened, actually, I came to Vietnam and they have delicious coffee. Like the coffee here is amazing. But they make these really sweet coffees. Gosh. And I realized, they have like egg coffee and salt coffee and avocado coffee. Like they have all these crazy coffees. The coffee here is delicious. It's amazing.
I bet you haven't had one yet, have you?
I've had many. That was the problem. I had like my first egg coffee, and I was like, oh my God, this is going to be the end of my intermittent fasting, because I'm eating sugar first thing in the morning.
So you've had one today, right?
Not yet.
Oh, okay. That's all. I can't function. I need my coffee.
Yeah, well, there's no coffee until I get out.
Because it's 6. It's almost 7 o'clock in Vietnam.
There's juice bars everywhere. But so I started eating a bit of fruit again, and then occasionally having noodles and having the odd, spring rolls, which are fried in the kind of oil that I tell everyone not to have. And then I was just like, when's this going to impact my body? And it just didn't. So, that's where I'm going with this.
Well, people should look out for that. So it's under your name, Mercy Wolf, on YouTube. I actually have an earthwormwoman YouTube, and we'll see how I can get into it, because I've streams right now on YouTube as well, hopefully.
Well, I can give you a link if anyone wants to. If anyone's interested in doing my little 5-day challenge.
You put it in is it private chat?
It's free. So I'm only going to take 3 people. And it's for me to kind of, test this out and help people. But obviously, if if they make progress, then there will be an offer at the other end of it. So it's for people, I'm looking for people I'm looking for people who are, who've been trying to lose, who've been gaining and losing the same 10 kilos for years. Like, these are the people that I really want to help. And they're the people who I have helped, people that are just completely stuck. Nothing's worked. They're just sick of it all. And because it does work. So I have got actually a link that I can share with you.
Okay. So you're looking for that. I'm just going to quickly head back to Ruined. I'm going to say her name out loud. Jaffe has bid for 4, is offering 4 tickets to Ruined, which I'm putting on in December, just while you're doing that. December the 12th and 13th in Cororook. So I would love to give those away to anybody that's nearby, if you're in Geelong, or if you know anyone in that area, or if you feel like a couple of hour trip to Cororook. It really literally is a straight line. It's only 2 hours, and you can stay up there or you can drive back the same time. So on the 12th, it's in the evening at 7:30, and on the 13th, it's at 11 in the morning. So you could actually get up really early, come and see it, and drive some lunch at the bistro and come and drive back. You could. So 4 lucky people, free tickets if you want them. Please just email me or message in here. I'm going to go to the chat. Earthwormwoman at proton.me is my new email. Copy this link.
I've just put a link in our chat there.
Going over there. Hang on a second. It's going over
no, that's not for you. I was hoping that you could share that.
I am. I'm just.
Did you just click on it to see where it goes? I think it just goes to my calendar. So if anyone wants to book a
old style
metabolic breakthrough session, and we can have a chat about, And so that's a free session to figure out what your what's blocking your metabolism, what's your biggest problem.
Unfortunately, the airfares aren't included, Victoria. Anyway, so we're talking about 2 different things here. So this is Mercy. Don't go to that one. That's the YouTube. Go to this one and check it out. Yeah, she's doing very, very brave to do what you're, not necessarily this because that's for you, but actually going, I'm going to take myself off. I'm going to take myself to another country, not talk about things like that, but actually do.
I've always done crazy things like that. I moved to America when I was 24 with 1 bag and a one-way ticket. I went to New York. Yeah. So kind of in my blood, really. I just, it doesn't feel brave to me at all. It feels like...
When I was younger, I was the same. And I went across the world by myself. It was, different. But said I'm leaving, I'm moving. Well, first time I came to Australia and then I went back to England myself. But now you got the kind of been staying in one place a long time. It is kind of a thing. Yeah.
Yeah, no, I just want to live here. I mean, I don't know what the future holds really, because my parents are still alive, but they're in their mid to late 80s now. So who knows what's going to happen, but I just want this freedom, really. That's what it's all about. And that actually is where I've gone with my whole program as well. It's like the ultimate goal for women is freedom, I think. Just to help people break free from all the restriction around food and the noise around food and just the constant burden of, thinking about being careful about what you eat all the time, all that stuff. That's, so it's all about freedom. My 3 pillars are food, fitness, and freedom. So that's what I'm teaching.
That's so interesting because a lot of people a lot of women mostly, I talked about at the beginning, and I feel really strongly about helping women. Maybe it's where I am in life at the moment. When you sort of come out of a big situation, and you become stronger and fiercer and freer and fiercer, as in, come on, we do this together kind of mentality. Come on, girls, women. I'm really pulling a lot of these times, but not in that way,
And I've also realized that, so I've just had so many sort of downloads this year as well, because I'm 63 now. So I turned 63, which I still don't really believe. And I'm not kidding. Like, I'm as fit as I've ever been. I might have been able to run faster years ago, but I think I'm honestly as fit and I'm as strong as I've ever been. And, I'm not on any medication. And I see there are a lot of kind of retirees and grey nomads and people like that in Vietnam. And a lot of people that don't look very healthy. And I'm just thinking, I want to help kind of rewrite the whole vibe around retirement as well, because I think I've seen so many women and so many people think it's all over when you hit like 50. It's like, oh, it's all downhill from here.
We're speaking the language.
It's off my bucket list. And it's like, what about if your 60s could be an opportunity? It's like, now you don't have the kids to bring up and you've got more time. Maybe you've retired. How about this is an opportunity to actually get really fit and do those things that you've never done before. Get really healthy and completely dedicated. Because that's the amazing thing for me. I've had all the time in the world to do that as well. When I was in Hoi An earlier in the year, I ordered a kettlebell online, and I had weights, and I was doing workouts in my room, and I had my bike. And I mean, there's no reason that this is sort of, okay, let's sit around a pool and drink cocktails and read books and
I
just
absolutely
decline.
agree with you. Okay. I was speaking the same sort of things. I was in the botanical gardens here the other day, and I always have these conversations with people. The dogs interact or something. Anyway, I kept talking to her. This woman, I would say she made a little bit into her 70s, and she was there was a bit of sad about her, and she said she was talking about ex-husbands, and she said her ex-husband had said that she'll never find anyone. She's too old now. She'll never find, And she was sort of saying it like he knew best, and then she was sort of saying. And he said, you're too old to work now. You're not, so you're not going to do it. Pretty much, you might as well just go over there and sit in the toilet for a few years, because you're not, nothing's going to happen in your life. And I thought, wow, I got her number. These are the people, just what you're talking about there. That I was like, no. How do you, from my own perspective, actually help support and get these back in touch with who they are? Because all it is.
Well, you have to be the example, really. That's, just show
getting
people
back
that it's possible,
the true essence of you. And but there's one of us, there's no one person. You can never emulate the other person or whatever. You are, that's who you are. And and I'm for myself more and more. The more I kind of discover just me, I just want to help other people and bring them to the same place.
Yeah, because you can totally reinvent yourself at any age, you can. And it's, you can just keep getting stronger. You don't have to
necessarily reinvent, but actually find who you are. You can reinvent physically, from what you put inside and everything, but we're full of doubt. Taught to be full of doubt, to be full of insecurities and worth, all that stuff. But talking very simple. Maybe because it's time of women as well. You're probably talking. I'm sure you women, of course. It really is the time for women to stand up now and to do what they're
And also my generation, you know, like I think there's a lot of women in their like 50s doing what I'm doing because, you know, there's that whole generation of Gen X and coming into menopause, but they were all, they had the gym culture and all that, you know, stuff when they were younger, whereas my generation, like I was the only person I knew lifting weights at the age of 20. I didn't know any other women going to a gym to lift weights. So I've kind of been doing all this stuff for 40 years. I was into natural health in my early 20s, you know, because I was boshing diet pills in my 20s and I screwed up my metabolism, and I realized very early on that that's what I'd done. I can't remember where I learned it, but I remember like reading books and going, oh, I have actually destroyed my metabolism. That's why I'm putting on weight so easily. And so I kind of started sorting myself out really early on and learning about natural health and what, you know, causes disease and what, you know, natural ways to heal diseases and reverse cancer and all those sorts of things. So, but I think a lot of women my age didn't do that. They weren't exposed to things at that age. So it's kind of, you know, some women my age have never really been fit in their lives. Or they've never been strong. And it's possible, you know, and I think people don't realize that it's possible. But then you've got a new lease of life. So use it.
As well, though, because a lot of people, you know, I did a PT course ago, and there's one thing I took out of, I remember, 10% of the population just will naturally have fitness and things. Only 10%.
But sorry, I think I've got a bad connection. 10% of the population.
Only 10% of the population will just, it's an automatic thing to do fitness type things. The others have to be pushed, or, you know, like, I've got to do it. But there's
or believe that they can, because I think a lot of it comes down to that as well. It's just that limiting beliefs.
It's in your realize it. I can see it. You know, it's my thing as well. Always been interested in being fit and healthy, and I'm the same. It's not like I thought.
I'm a little bit lazy. You know, I am a bit lazy and I am a bit greedy, and that's another part of my message as well. Is, you know, you don't have to be like super bikini body, like in the gym 5 days a week. Like I am a minimal exerciser. I don't do a ton, and I, you know, so it's possible to be.
It's not
healthy.
Like you don't have
to be a gym junkie.
You're tall though as well, aren't you?
5'10".
That's tall.
Yeah. 175 centimeters. I can't remember.
Anyway, I'll let you go and have your coffee.
Oh yes. I'm going to jump on my bicycle and go and get a coffee.
Mercy have a weightlifting program. Hang on. That we can follow.
Not exactly, but it's going to be in my program. I'm actually like figuring out, because when I was in Hoi An earlier in the year, I did have some equipment, but now I have nothing. So I do stuff like on the edge of my bed and push-ups, and you know, I'm deliberately devising a whole program where you don't need any equipment. Thanks, Jan.
I was going to start classes. I used to teach dance fitness classes, and I was going to start a new one called Move That Muffin.
Called what?
Move That Muffin. on, you know, core things, and make it fun. And I did another class to do. I started it a couple of years ago, and a few times, but called Disco Get Fit.
Oh, that's something I do too. I dance. I've got my little Bose Sonos speaker, and I've got a SoundCloud mix that I absolutely love. My favorite DJ.
Trademark. I've got that name. Because Disco Get Fit now.
Yeah, but squats and planks and push-ups, that's, you know, the core of my exercise program at the moment. Squats, planks, push-ups. I've got the beach out there that I walk up and down. I've got a bike that I ride.
Swim lap, beach, yeah.
And yeah, walking. Let's get walking as well.
Yeah, no, walking's important for us. But thank you so much for coming
Oh,
on
thank you.
the
It's
show
so good
today.
to chat. We could chat all day.
I hope to take. I'm going to take my jacket off. What the heck? Pretend I'm where you are. Everybody, thank you so much for watching today. As I always do, I will end with one of my sponsors, who's Maddalena. I'm going to mention this actually. So on the 6th of December, we're having a kind of Earthworm Woman artisan market. And it is a private event, but everybody's invited. You see, it's in Melbourne, so it's Melbourneites more. So obviously she doesn't want to put the address out there. So if you're interested, contact me or Maddalena. And I'll be there next Saturday in the afternoon. And the other thing is, don't forget the marooned tickets. Can't see that. So with that as well, and put in $50 at the bistro. So not only do you get 4 tickets, and you can share that money, or we can all share it, whatever. But no, whoever gets the tickets will share that. At the bistro, 13th. Nobody's taking. I'm repeating it. It's like unless bus conductors, repeats the same thing over and over. Okay, shut up now. Over and out. Whatever you say in Vietnam, say goodbye in Vietnam.
I don't actually even know how you say goodbye in Vietnamese. Vietnamese is the hardest language. I've learned about 5 phrases. I always learn how to say hello and delicious and thank you and please. And yeah, I actually don't know how you say goodbye.
Well, that's.
But Sing Chao is good day. So.
Okay, Xin Chao. And thank you much for coming on.
You.
And her YouTube's. And we'll
end. I should. Yeah. So should I send you a link to YouTube? It's just Mercy Wolf on YouTube.
Yeah, and I put the other one.
Yeah, I've got a couple of videos there. My last video was about Ozempic and how to avoid Ozempic. And my water one is coming soon, which is how to avoid bottled water in Asia, which I think is pretty genius. I've got a little water filter that I bring with me, and I filter my own water. It's that big, and I don't need to drink tap water.
Wow.
I mean, I don't need to drink bottled water. Yeah, but if anyone wants to, I mean, you can reach out to me on Facebook as well. Send me a message in Messenger if you want to know any more. And the link is there to book a free session with me. Let's talk about if you're having problems with your metabolism and stubborn weight and all of those things. We can have a chat.
Stubborn weight. Okay. See you then. Bye-bye.
Bye.
I am not just a product made to satisfy the pocket, nor do I require the same fame others seek. I desire your heart, the passions that make you a woman, any woman, every woman. My scents are a representation of purpose, courage, confidence, each botanical ingredient a praise of thanksgiving and self-care. The way I feel upon your flesh, a comfort of nourishment, as I feed dehydrated and depleted layers of skin, bursting for a new life of regrowth and youthfulness. If I stir your soul with each application, let it be known that you, too, are an intimate duet woman.